Hi everyone, it's Carrie, aka Nerdy Girl Crates, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is Manga Monday, but instead of doing a review, I wanted to do something a little different. Originally, I was thinking about doing my favorite manga of 2021, but I don't think I've been on YouTube long enough and have not been reading manga long enough to put that kind of list together. So instead, I'd rather talk about manga titles I am looking forward to in 2022. Now, you'll notice a lot of these books I talk about aren't new books. They're pretty much been around for a while, but I haven't had the chance to actually read them or get them in my hand. So I'm putting them on my list for 2022, and hopefully I can get through all of these. So let's get started. The first one is called Blood on the Tracks. It is written by Shuzo Oshimi, and it's published by Kodansha USA publisher. It originally started in February of 2017 and it's still ongoing, and so far there's been 12 issues. Now this is a little different than what I normally read, but I am a big fan of psychological suspense thrillers, and this focuses on a shy middle school student, and he has this very disturbing relationship with his mother. On the outside, to everybody else, everything looks normal, but his mother is very overprotective. She takes helicopter mom to dangerous levels, if you know what I'm saying. So it's focuses on this relationship between the two, and the son being forced to deal with a dark secret. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on it. I've been looking for volume 1, but like most titles I've been interested in, it's been really, really hard to get a hold of. Now the next title is called Kaiju No. 8. I've seen this just recently came out. I've seen people on YouTube already reviewing it. And it is published by Shueisha. I hope I said that right. I don't know for sure who wrote it yet, but it's written and illustrated by Noya Matsumoto. It is set in Japan with monsters known as kaiju, probably a term many of you have heard before, that regularly attack the population. There's a Japanese defense force tasked with killing them. After their town is destroyed by kaiju, when they were children, childhood friends both vowed to become members of the Defense Force. Mina has become famous as a commander of the Defense Force 3rd Unit, but Kaifka has failed the exam numerous times as a member of the cleanup crew. After small talking, a monster flies into his body via his mouth, and Kafka gains the ability to turn into a monster himself. Now, right there, right now, that sounds really intriguing. I love kaiju movies, Godzilla, all that stuff. So I'm hoping to get my hands on this and see exactly how interesting it could be. I'm hoping that, it's going to continue, it doesn't get canceled, and it lives up to expectations. Now, the next one is an older one, but I think it's just, and correct me if I'm wrong down below in the comment section, I think it just got recently released as an English version. I know there's been an anime that's been playing. It's called Tokyo Revengers. Now, this is also produced by Kodansha, and it's written by Ken Wakui. And it focuses on a 26-year-old who learns one day that his middle school ex-girlfriend, as well as her younger brother, have been killed by the Tokyo Menage gang. When he is pushed in front of a train, he teleports exactly 12 years to the past, where he relives his middle school years and hopes to prevent the tragedy that occurred. It sounds very much like a butterfly effect. I'm wondering that every time he tries to do this, makes things worse in the future. Does he actually succeed, or does he discover that maybe, it's not worth it? So I am looking forward to that. Now, the next one I'm really, really interested in, because this looks like fun, is Sakamoto Days manga. It is produced by Viz Media, and it's written by Yoda Suzuki. And it focuses on Taro Sakamoto, who was once a legendary hitman, considered the greatest of all times. Bad guys feared him, assassins revered him, but then one day he quit, got married, and had a baby. He now's living a quiet life as the owner of a neighborhood shop, but how long can he enjoy his days of retirement before his past catches up with him? I am a big fan of Way of the House Husband, so this is like right up my alley. So I am really, really interested to see how this one goes. I pre-ordered it already on Right Stuff, so hopefully I get it in hand. Fingers crossed. Next up is one I've been trying to get my hands on, and I know a lot of people will probably just say, why don't you just read it on the digital platform? And not that I'm not considering that, but personally, I like having a book in my hand and flipping through the pages. It could be me growing up with comic books. You just like the feel of something in your hands, flipping through each page and being able to flip back and look. There's something different about doing it on digital. It doesn't feel the same, and sometimes with certain formats, especially when it's like a manga or comic book format, you got to play around with the screen to get everything right into view. But if I cannot get these issues, I might end up just reading it on digital. But the manga I'm talking about is Spy Family. And yes, you probably heard about it. It's by Tetsuya Endo, and it's from Viz Media. It is focusing on a spy who has to build a family to execute a mission, not realizing that the girl he has adopted as his daughter and the woman he agrees to be in the fake marriage with are a mind reader and an assassin. And right there, that just sounds like that is going to be a lot of fun. Again, I did get Volume 3, but by accident. What I mean by accident is I did a blind box through Right Stuff Anime, and I got Volume 3 for Spy Family, but the bind is a little damaged, but heck, at least I got one of them, right? So hopefully I can at least get 1 and 2 in the near future, so I can check that off my list. Now, the next one is something I saw on Right Stuff. It is not out yet, but it really intrigued me from the minute I saw the cover and read the description. It's called From the Red Fog, and it's set in England at the end of the 19th century. A string of gruesome incidents all lead back to the single boy who was born into a world where chaos and order and wealth and poverty are deeply intertwined. Guided by a deep solitude, what fate awaits him in the end? It's written by Mosea Nohara, and it's published by Yen Press. Now, like, the cover art itself caught my attention. It looks really awesome, and I'm hoping that it lives up to its potential. I really like twisted stories sometimes if they're done right. And this looks like one of those that could actually be very intriguing. So hopefully when that comes in, I'll have it and I'll read it and I'll do a review on it for you guys. Alright. The next one up is also one that has yet to be released, at least that I know of. And it also looks like a much darker story. It's called Blackguard, and it is written by Ryo Hanada, who did Devil's Line, and published by Vertical. The synopsis is, the world is suddenly overrun by monsters called shoujo, and anyone who is bitten by one is infected with the mysterious virus, which turns them into the same being. To defeat the shoujo, humans live in aerial cities and form units called guards. Nanao Minami, also known as the Blackguard, fights, but without regard for his own life. What is his motivation, and why does he want to die so readily? Right there, got my attention. Looking forward to getting that one in hand, and hopefully it's not disappointing. Now, as somebody who's a fan of Naruto, this next one sounds right up my alley, and it's written by the guy who did I Am a Hero, which is something I've been reading right now. It's called Under Ninja, and it's written by Kenjo Hanazawa, and it's published by Denpa. And it focuses on a high school loner who's giving a part-time job of a lifetime as a modern-day ninja tasked to perform international assassinations. After World War II, Allied Command in Japan developed a new agency to help manage terrorism and violence within the Pacific region. The agency was staffed with ninja, and they were initially tasked to handle domestic affairs. Sounds interesting. Like I said, I was a fan of Naruto, but this sounds like a little bit more of a much darker version of Naruto. So, yeah, I'm up for it. Now, this next one has been around, and it's a one-shot horror. I don't want to spoil the details on it because I don't want to spoil my experience with it, so I don't really know a synopsis on it. But I hear a lot about author Junji Ito. I think that's how you say it. And this is called Spiral into Hara Uzumaki, not to be mistaken with Naruto. But it's a horror one-shot, and I heard he is like the master of horror when it comes to manga. So I really want to start reading his books, and I really want to start with this one because it does really intrigue me. And I love horror if it's done right. Now, the next one is something I remember hearing Wes talking about on Comics Aficionado, and it caught my attention. I looked it up, and I'm really interested in it. It is called The Promise Neverland. It's written by Kaio Shiari, and it's published by Viz Media. And it's set in the year 2045. And over 1,000 years ago, an agreement called The Promise was made to end a long war between humans and demons. Well, this focuses on an orphanage with all these kids who are living a very happy life with their mother, as they call her, their caregiver. And everything seems great, and all of them are looking forward to being adopted. But soon, two of the kids discover the truth behind the orphanage, and things get dark fast. So yes, I'm really looking into reading The Promised Neverland. It's come highly recommended, and I'm definitely going to add it to the list. Now, the next one is a much older manga that started in 1998 and ended in 2004. And they just have now the omnibuses out, so I'm thinking about grabbing them because they're even on sale right now on Right Stuff. It is Shaman King, and it is written by Hiroki Taki, and it's published by currently Kodansha. It revolves around a shaman medium between the worlds of the living and the dead, and this young shaman seeks to become the Shaman King, the one who will be able to contact the Great Spirit, and will gain the ability to reshape the world in any way they wish. And for this purpose, he must win the shaman fight, a battle held once every 500 years between competing shamans. And yes, that does sound really intriguing, so I do want to check it out. I'm going to see if it's still in stock on Right Stuff. I might go ahead and grab the 4-pack of the omnibus. Now, the next one is one I've seen a lot of reviewers talk about, and I'm interested. It is called Dr. Stone, and it is there's also an anime. I have not watched the anime. I want to try and read the manga first. Came out in 2017, and it's written by Richiro Inagaki, and it is published by Viz Media, and it's set in the year 2038. A mysterious flash suddenly petrifies nearly all human life. 3,700 years pass with the human race frozen into stone until a 15-year-old protege is suddenly revived to find himself in the world where all traces of human civilization have been eroded by time. He sets up a base camp and begins to study the petrified humans in order to determine the cause of the event as well as a cure. Sounds pretty good to me. I'm willing to check that out. Now, the next one is something I have watched the anime, and I'm a huge fan of the anime, so I would love to get my hands on the omnibuses, and that would be the Classic Helsing. And like I said, I'm a huge fan of the anime, but I have never read the manga. It came out in 2006 and ended in 2012. It's written by Kyoto Hirona, and it is a vampire-themed supernatural story that focuses around the Royal Order of Protestant Knights, originally led by Abraham Van Helsing. And they have this secret weapon called Alucard, which if you know what Alucard is. And he is teamed up with this girl who he bit. She was a former police officer, and he turned her into a vampire. So now they both work for this organization to hunt down threats to the British government. And I do highly recommend it. I'm hoping the manga is just as good as the anime, and I can't wait to have it in my collection. Now, the next one is something I've seen a lot of people go on and on about. I do have Volume 1. I just got Volume 1. I have not cracked it open and read it yet, but it is called Fairy Tail. Now, Fairy Tail is written by Hiro Mashima, and it is published by Kodansha Publishing. It ran from 2006 to 2017, and I believe there's now a new series out also. And it focuses on a world where there's guilds, where there's wizards that apply their magic for paid jobs. And Natsu, a dragon slayer wizard from the Fairy Tail Guild, explores the kingdom in search of his missing adopted father, a dragon. During his journey, he befriends a young celestial wizard named Lucy, and he invites her to join Fairy Tail. Sounds like a really good shonen type manga. I know it has a huge fan following. Not sure if it's as big as the One Piece crowd, but I'm willing to give it a chance to see how it goes. Now, another thing I've been wanting to do is kind of expand the types of manga I've been reading. I usually kind of stick to the stuff I really like, which is action adventure, fantasy, horror, anything that's, based in like badass fight scenes and everything. But I've been thinking about trying out some other types of manga, and this one caught my attention, and I actually was looking for the box set, but I haven't been able to find it, and it is called Bakuman. It is written by Chisugumi Oba, and it's published by Viz Media. It is a comedy coming-of-age story. It's about a junior high school student who forgets his notebook in class. He finds his classmate who notes the drawings in there, and he asks him to become a manga artist to his stories. However, Mashiro declines, citing his late manga artist uncle who died from overworking. However, he convinces the young guy to join him and start working on a manga together. So it sounds like a fun slice of life type story. It's I completed, it was like 2008 to 2012. I think it was like 20 volumes. That's why I was trying to get a hold of the box set. Any kind of like completed series, if I can get a hold of a box set, or if it's like a long running series like One Piece, I've been trying to get a hold of the box set so I can just, get it done in one shot and not have to worry about trying to hunt down too many things. And sometimes the price for the box set works out if you can get it. Now, this next one is a darker fantasy, which is like right up my alley. And it's called Fire Punch. I've seen some people talk about it. It's from Viz Media, and it's written by Tatsuki Fujimoto. And it takes place on Earth that has become frozen over and barren at the hands of the Ice Witch. The witch is among a few who possess special abilities known as blessings. The protagonist, a boy who has the blessing of regeneration along with his sister, they help the few elders in the village subside on the meat of severed arms. One day their village is visited by a blessed named Doma, who offers to take the boy to his city. Doma, disgusted at their practice of cannibalism, emulates the inhabitants with his flames. Luna, whose regeneration is slow, also succumbs, but not before imploring her brother to live. Okay. Sounds really, really interesting, and I am definitely looking forward to that. Now, my final goal for 2022 is getting in hand box set 4 for One Piece. It'll be my first One Piece box set, and if you've been following me on Twitter, if you've been following me here on the channel, you know how much I've fallen in love with One Piece. And I really, really am looking forward to getting this in hand. Now, I'm still hoping the first 3 boxes become available so I can add those to my collection. I'm excited, My favorite character, Zoro's in there. There's some other characters that I've been recently introduced to that I like a lot. We'll see. Well, that's it for what I'm looking forward to with manga in 2022. Now, there is definitely much more that I'll probably come across, or other ones I did not add to this list because I either forgot or didn't think of right off the bat. So, you will see other titles. Look forward to more of these reviews. If there's any manga you suggest I should also check out, please let me know down below. And go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.